my recap on the first part of NeverButter's 10th BFDI What If. What if B didn't lose where they did?
Battle for BFDI, Episode 2. Lick your way to freedom.
According to NeverButter, Satomi made Beep lose 3 times in an attempt to get Nico out. Obviously that failed. So for this What If, let's give Beep their wins for their losses in canon. And because of this, the losers will be up for elimination in their place.
But first we have to get Book and Foldy and Gaty and Golf Ball and Ice Cube and Lollipop and Taco and Teardrop and Tennis Ball.
Because Beep rescued Taco, the Taco book art never happens. I don't know if the same can be said for Gaty though. The first contestant safe is Coiny, and so is Fiery, then Pin, then Needle, then Cake, and finally Eggy. So now it's down to Loser and Clock. Loser is famous, which can get annoying, and Clock only spoke once the entire episode. This has the possibility to be close, but the last contestant safe is Clock. With Loser gone, chaos ensues.
Battle for BFDI, Episode 3. Why would you do this on a swing set?
The losers only won the contest because of daylight savings, which puts Loser in a lower place. The losers probably won't do the daylight savings thing, but this still doesn't change the fact that Team Ice Cube loses and Bracewoody is eliminated.
Battle for BFDI, Episode 4. Today's very special episode.
Nothing changes this episode, so Death Pack loses and Y is eliminated.
Battle for BFDI, Episode 5. Fortunate Bet.
BFB 5 is Beep's second canon loss, so let's give them the win here. But nothing else changes, so Free Food is up for elimination. The first contestant safe is Bell, and so is Foldy, then Eraser, then Marker, then Puffball, and finally Fries. So now it's down to Yellowface and Stapy. Yellowface is a non-object, and Stapy was the reason Free Food lost in the first place. This is a toss-up, but the last contestant safe is Yellowface. Stapy, Stapler, and Sinks can never save him from elimination.
Battle for BFDI, Episode 6. 4 goes too far.
Loser being here means the losers aren't protected under a basket, but Free Food loses for the second time. The first contestant safe is Foldy, and so is Eraser, then Marker, then Bell, and finally Fries. So now it's down to Yellowface and Puffball. Yellowface is a non-object, and Puffball is here because of BFDI 5. Despite this, the last contestant safe is Puffball. Non-objects are generally vote magnets.
Battle for BFDI, Episode 7. The liar ball you don't want.
Because the loser was eliminated way earlier than the canon, there are a bunch of changes. The 8th team and a better name than there are definitely guaranteed to be safe, but the team that loses is Beep. The first contestant safe is Cloudy, and so is Woody, then Balloony, then Nickel, then Rocky, and finally Leafy. So now it's down to Robati and David. Leafy will realize what she did wrong and would let her team members have more control. But David and Robati are both non-objects. David is irritating and Robati is useless. And because of this, the last contestant safe is David.
Battle for BFDI, Episode 8. Questions answered.
Because 8 Ball's not eliminated, Saw doesn't yell 8 often. Free Food takes second place now that Stapy's gone. Saw's team also finishes third. Without Stapy, Ainz finishes 7th. But NeverButter completely forgot about the losers, so Saw's team is up for elimination. The first contestant safe is Ice Cube, and so is Teardrop, then Book, then Saw, then Taco, and finally Gaty. So now it's down to Lollipop and Dora. Lollipop would be more annoying without the Taco book art, but Dora is a non-object. It is a very close vote, but the last contestant safe is Dora. Lollipop is sassy and apparently gay.
Battle for BFDI, Episode 9. This episode is about basketball.
BFB 9 is Beef's final canon loss, so let's give them the win. Blocky throws 8 Ball alongside Tennis Ball and Basketball. Without Yellowface, Free Food places lower. Taco would give her team an advantage. Because Balloony and Leafy are here, Beef finishes 4th. Even though Cheese not stuck in bottle, Death Pack loses for the second time. The first contestant safe is Pen, and so is Remote, then Tree, then Black Hole, and finally Pillow. So now it's down to Pie and Bottle. Pie only spoke once this episode, and Bottle is apparently zany. It is a toss-up, but the last contestant safe is Bottle. Another background character fades away.
Battle for BFDI, Episode 10. Enter the exit.
This episode is apparently a filler episode, so the losers still win and get a rejoiner. Robotty is the first one with the boot. Pie just got eliminated. Sapien would probably have gotten more votes since he wasn't a cheater. Yellowface doesn't get enough support to bring his shot back. Bracelety is as annoying as ever. Why didn't get enough sympathy? Lollipop recently got eliminated, so she's not rejoining either. Now it's down to Pencil and Loser. Pencil is the first boot and a very popular contestant, and she's also the only BFDI veteran here. Loser only got here because the people wanted to see what it was like without Loser. Loser is a good contender to rejoin, but ultimately, rejoining the game is Pencil. Early boots commonly get more votes than late boots. Battle for BFDI, Episode 11. Get to the top in 500 steps. Match will reconnect with Pencil instead of Bubble, and without Pie, Tree takes her place. Death Pack could place higher, and the ranks still change. Free Food's last elimination was a while ago, so 40 doesn't fight Flower. This would be debatable, but a better than that takes 7th place. The first contestant safe is Pen, and so is Remote, then Tree, and finally Black Hole. So now it's down to Pillow and Bottle. Pillow didn't show up this episode, and Bottle is apparently zany. This will be a very close vote, but the last contestant safe is Pillow. Fans at the time chose boring over annoying.
Battle for BFDI, Episode 12. What do you think of roleplay?
All of the imposters are still here, but there are still changes. Without Bottle, Tree doesn't kill her. Because Pencil rejoined the game, Needle is not photorealistic, so Lightbulb doesn't out himself. Death Pack manages to figure out it's Taco. Considering they spent too much time guessing, Team Ice Cube still loses and Fiery Jr. is eliminated.
Battle for BFDI, Episode 13. Return of the Rocket Ship.
This episode was split into 2 individual episodes.
Battle for BFDI, Episode 14. Don't dig straight down.
Without the Taco's book arc, Taco's team won't lose. And without Pie, Death Pack will place lower. Death Pack would go into 4 later than in canon, but they would also steal better than them would turn it in. But the lava apocalypse still happens, so Team Ice Cube and the losers take their spots. Taco would probably do the same. Whatever arc would go on that episode would start to close. But even though Bubble Match and Pencil have made up together, Ions loses for the 2nd time. Taco's team completely dies. But the first contestant safe is Bubble, and so is Lightning, then Ruby, then Fanny, and finally Match, so now it's down to Flower and Snowball. Snowball is still mean, and Flower is arrogant, but is redeeming herself. Considering the voting in episode 12, the last contestant safe is Flower. Snowball was eliminated before his friendship with Grassy even forms.
Battle for BFDI, Episode 15. The 4 is Lava.
Ions finishes first considering they were up for elimination. Taco's team is dead, so Team Ice Cube finishes last. The first contestant safe is Ice Cube, and so is Teardrop, then Taco, then Book, and finally Saw. So now it's down to Gady and Dora. Gady is uninteresting, and Dora is a non-object. The last contestant safe is Gady. Dora is very useful, but she is eliminated for being a non-object.
Battle for BFDI, Episode 16. The Escape from 4.
Without Lollipop and Loser, Pencil and Match will take their place. But Loser and Lolly will rejoin the game, making things uneven for post-split BFB. Loser stays with 4, while Lolly defects. And this is the end of Part 1. Part 2 would come much later. But NeverButter's next what if is, what if Flower survived over Golf Ball?